In the warm and ancient heart of Southeast Asia, where the last foothills of the Himalayas descend into a broad and fertile plain, there lies a kingdom that has never been conquered. To the north, mist-covered mountains rise in successive green waves, their peaks dissolving into cloud. To the south, a narrow finger of land stretches toward the equator, flanked on both sides by seas, the Andaman on one coast, the Gulf of Thailand on the other, their waters holding within them more than 1,400 islands scattered like offerings across the surface of the earth. It is a land of immense and bewildering variety, where a single country contains within its borders the snowless peaks of the north, the wide bronze plateau of the northeast, the rice-flooded flatlands of the center, and the limestone-cast towers of the south, rising sheer and improbable from turquoise water. The air here carries something that is difficult to name, the scent of frangipani and incense, of charcoal smoke and lemongrass, of rain just finished on warm stone. It is a land both ancient and alive, one shaped by Buddhism and by river, by trade and by monsoon, by a quiet resilience that has allowed it to remain, across centuries of surrounding turbulence, entirely and stubbornly itself. The only nation in Southeast Asia never to have been colonized by a foreign power, its very name, Thailand, the land of the free, is not a modern branding exercise. It is a statement of fact, earned and held across 1,000 years of history. This is a story not of beaches or temples or the bright chaos of its great cities. It is a story of a people and a way of life. This is the story of how people live between the mountains and the sea. Life in Thailand is shaped, governed, and defined by a rhythm that does not belong to the clock. It belongs to something older, to the turn of the monsoon, to the cycle of the Buddhist calendar, to a philosophy of time so deeply woven into the national character that it has its own name. The Thais call it sanuk, the conviction that life, in all its ordinary moments, should contain joy. Not the loud joy of celebration, but the quiet, persistent joy of being present. Work done with a smile, a task made lighter by laughter, a difficulty absorbed without bitterness. If something cannot be made sanuk, a Thai proverb suggests, it is hardly worth doing at all. The day begins before sunrise. In towns and cities, in villages where the roosters still set the hour, the first movement of morning belongs to the monks. Barefoot and silent, draped in robes the color of saffron and flame, they file through the streets in single file, alms bowls cradled before them. This is tak bat, the daily ritual of alms-giving, and it is as old as Thai Buddhism itself. Families kneel at the roadside, children beside their grandmothers, placing offerings of sticky rice and fruit into each bowl in turn. No words are exchanged. The monks offer a murmured blessing. The laypeople bow their heads. For those who give, it is an act of tham bun, merit-making, a small investment in the invisible account of a life well lived. For many Thais, this is simply how morning begins. Beyond the monks, the day unfolds at what the country has earned the right to call its own pace. Vendors arrange their carts of fresh fruit and grilled skewers before the light is fully up. Children in school uniforms press their palms together in the Y, that elegant, unhurried greeting of pressed hands and lowered eyes that serves as hello, thank you, and I see you all at once. Outside nearly every home and business, no matter how modern, stands a small spirit house, a sanfra phum draped in offerings of jasmine and incense, a quiet acknowledgement that the world contains more than what can be measured. And beneath all of it runs the thread of my pen rai. It doesn't matter, no worries, we will find a way. Not an excuse for carelessness, but a refusal to let friction become suffering. A national exhale practiced daily. The family unit is the cornerstone of Thai society. Not the nuclear family of two parents and their children, tidy and self-contained, but something wider, deeper, and more deliberately tangled. A web that extends across 3 and sometimes 4 generations, each one bound to the next not just by blood, but by obligation, affection, and a shared understanding that to be alone is a misfortune, and to be surrounded is a form of wealth. Grandparents raise grandchildren while parents work. Older siblings shepherd younger ones with a semi-parental authority that needs no formal title. An aunt is never merely an aunt. She is a presence, a resource, a keeper of recipes and remedies, and the particular family history that never quite makes it into words. The Thai language itself encodes this intimacy. Thais use Phi, elder sibling, to address anyone older for whom they feel warmth and closeness, and Nong, younger sibling, for those who are younger. These are not metaphors. They are a genuine collapsing of the distance between strangers, a linguistic insistence that the person standing beside you is already, in some meaningful sense, family. At the center of this world is a concept that Thai has no need to translate into policy or principle, because it is simply practiced: Nam Jai, water from the heart, the generosity that flows outward without calculation, without ledger, without expectation of return. It is the neighbor who appears with food when illness strikes, the mechanic who waves away payment with a smile, the family in a small town who takes in a relative's child for a school year without a single word of complaint. Water in Thailand is a symbol of abundance. It fills the rice fields, it sustains the rivers, it makes the land green. To have Nam Jai is to have a heart that generates abundance and then gives it away. In this, community is not something Thais build. It is something they inhabit, the way they inhabit the air. Life here is lived outward, toward others, with what the culture calls Jai Yen, a cool, steady heart, as the instrument of all its best relationships. Children learn this not from instruction, but from the accumulated weight of every meal shared, every burden divided, every morning begun with the simple, unremarkable act of caring for the person beside them. Tradition in Thailand is not a relic of the past preserved under glass. It is a living, breathing, and utterly inseparable part of the present. It is the gold leaf pressed by a worshipper's fingers onto a Buddha image at dawn. It is the Krathong, a small lotus-shaped basket of banana leaf and marigold and candlelight, released onto a river on a November full moon during Loy Krathong, carrying with it whatever the maker wishes to let go of. It is the walls of water thrown in every direction during Songkran each April, when the Thai New Year arrives not with fireworks, but with the ancient logic that water purifies, that the old year can be washed clean away, and that renewal is not a metaphor, it is something you can feel on your skin. At the center of it all stands the Wat, the Buddhist temple. There are more than 40,000 of them in Thailand, one for every cluster of homes and rice fields, one for every mountain pass and fishing village and city block. They are not museums. They are the social, spiritual, and moral infrastructure of the country. It was in the Wats of the first Thai kingdom, the Sukhothai, founded in 1238, that the Thai script was carved into stone, that monks preserved knowledge through centuries of upheaval, that communities organized their lives around the calendar of the Dharma. That tradition has not been interrupted. It continues in the same buildings, with the same chanting at the same hours, across 800 years. For Thai men, the call of the temple is not merely weekly, it is biographical. Almost every Thai man will, at some point in his life, undergo buat, ordination into the monkhood, however briefly. His head is shaved. His family gathers. He dresses first in white for purity, then in saffron for renunciation. He walks into the Wat as a son and emerges as a monk, carrying merit back to the parents who raised him. It is one of the most profound acts of filial love in any culture on earth, expressed not in words, but in the complete, temporary surrender of the self. And then there is the art of the body. Muay Thai, the ancient martial discipline of fists and elbows and knees, its origins woven into the military history of the old Siamese kingdoms, now practiced in every town in the country by boys of 6 and men of 60. Its pre-fight ritual dance, the Loy Krathong, still performed before every bout as it always has been, a bow to the teacher, to the lineage, to everything that came before. This, too, is tradition. Not something performed for a camera, but something lived daily in the body. The land is the lifeblood of Thailand. It has always been so. Long before the factories and the freeways, before the hotel towers rose along the Quay of Freya and the cargo ships queued in the Gulf, the country's wealth was measured in rice, in the yield of the wet season paddies, in the heft of the harvest, in the slow work of planting and tending and cutting that shaped the entire rhythm of rural life. That relationship has not been severed. Roughly 30% of the Thai workforce still draws its livelihood from the land, from the terraced rice fields of the north, from the rubber plantations of the south, where workers score the bark of the trees before dawn to collect the latex in small cups, from the shrimp farms and fishing boats that work the coastlines of the Gulf and the Andaman Sea. Thailand is the world's largest producer of natural rubber, one of the world's leading exporters of rice, and a major supplier of farmed shrimp, cassava, and sugar to markets across the globe. The country has earned, with some justification, the title it gives itself, the kitchen of the world. But the economy has long since grown beyond what the land alone can sustain. Thailand is the second largest economy in Southeast Asia, built now on three pillars that press against each other in productive tension. Manufacturing accounts for roughly a third of GDP. The country assembles vehicles for global automotive brands, produces electronics, hard disk drives, and electrical components at a scale that has made it one of the world's most important nodes in the global supply chain. The service sector, anchored by tourism, provides the rest. In 2024, more than 35 million visitors arrived in Thailand, generating nearly $50 billion in revenue, a figure that speaks less to the country's marketing than to something harder to manufacture. A genuine hospitality, a beauty that needs no embellishment, and a cuisine so distinctive that people cross oceans specifically to eat it. Yet beneath the GDP figures, the truest economy of Thailand operates at a different scale entirely. It is the market vendor who has been selling the same noodle soup at the same corner for 30 years. The fisherman who knows the tides of his coastline the way others know their own handwriting. The rice farmer in the northeast whose relationship with his land predates the nation-state that surrounds it. These are not peripheral figures. They are the foundation upon which everything else is built, steadily, without ceremony, season after season. Thailand's food is a direct and honest reflection of its landscape, layered, vivid, alive with contradiction, and impossible to reduce to a single note. Thai cuisine is built around the deliberate balancing of 5 flavors: sweet, sour, salty, spicy, and bitter. Not one dominating the others, but all present at once, held in careful tension, the way a chord contains the notes that give it its particular resonance. To eat Thai food is to experience this balance not as a technique, but as a philosophy, a belief that the world is most beautiful when its opposing forces are held in relation rather than allowed to overwhelm. The dishes that have made Thai cuisine known across the world are only a beginning. Tom Yum Goong, that fierce, aromatic shrimp soup of lemongrass and galangal, and kaffir lime leaf and chili, its broth tasting simultaneously of the sea and the forest, speaks of a coast where ingredients meet in the same pot as history. Som Tum, the green papaya salad born in the northeastern plateau of Isan, is pounded to order in a clay mortar with garlic and chili and lime, and fish sauce and tomato, its flavors as bright and unsparing as the sun over the Korat plateau it came from. In Chiang Mai, in the cool mountain north, kara soy arrives at the table in a deep bowl, a golden coconut curry broth holding both soft and crispy egg noodles, topped with pickled mustard greens and a squeeze of lime, a dish that carries within it centuries of trade routes and Burmese influence. And everywhere, at every hour, From the smallest roadside cart to the finest kitchen in Bangkok, there is pad kra pao, minced pork or chicken stir-fried with holy basil, garlic and chili, crowned with a fried egg, served over jasmine rice. It is the dish Thais reach for when they are tired, when they are hungry, when they want the taste of home reduced to its simplest, most satisfying form. Street food is not a category in Thailand. It is the primary mode of eating, the democratic table at which the country sits down together. A vendor might occupy the same corner for 30 years, refining a single dish to a level of mastery that no restaurant review can adequately capture. And in April and May, when the mango season arrives, the stalls fill with karo nu mamwong, sweet sticky rice soaked in coconut cream, laid beside slices of yellow mango so ripe they seem to dissolve at the touch. A dessert so simple and so perfect it requires nothing else. But at its core, Thai food culture remains rooted in the shared table. The meal made at home, the pot of curry that feeds the whole family, the bowl of soup placed before a guest without being asked. These remain the truest and most nourishing expressions of what it means to eat in Thailand. To truly understand Thailand is to understand its nature. The landscape here is not a backdrop. It is not scenery arranged for the convenience of the traveler. It is a living, breathing, and sometimes overwhelming force. The context within which every human life in this country has been shaped, and the thing that, in the end, outlasts all of them. In the far north, the mountains rise through cloud. Loy Inthanon, the country's highest peak at 2,565 meters, wears a forest unlike anything else in Thailand, a cloud forest of moss and mist, where the trees are draped in lichen and the air is cool and still, more Himalayan than tropical, because that is precisely what it is. The southernmost spur of the Himalayan range, holding its altitude quietly above the surrounding plains. Within its national park, over 500 bird species have been recorded. Waterfalls drop through the green darkness. In the mornings, the peaks disappear entirely into the cloud, and the monks who maintain the twin royal chedis at the summit chant into a world of white. In the northeast, the Korat Plateau rolls toward the Mekong River in broad strokes of red laterite soil and dry woodland. The Mekong, the great river of mainland Southeast Asia, fed by glaciers thousands of kilometers to the north in Tibet, defines Thailand's entire eastern and northeastern border with Laos, its waters running wide and brown in the wet season, slow and amber in the dry. At sunset along the river town of Nong Kari, the light falls across the surface of the water in a way that seems almost designed. The far bank of Laos, a green smudge in the haze, the great river between them belonging to neither country. And in the south, nature becomes theater. In Phangangar Bay on the Andaman coast, 42 limestone karst islands rise sheer from emerald water, towers of ancient stone 250 million years in the making, carved by rain and sea into shapes so improbable they look constructed rather than grown. Hidden within them are the hongs, secret inland lagoons accessible only by sea kayak at low tide, their walls rising straight up on all sides to a circle of sky, the water inside perfectly still, the mangrove roots reaching into the green. It is the kind of place that makes the word beautiful feel entirely inadequate. Thailand protects this landscape through a network of 155 national parks. Within them, live Asian elephants, Indochinese tigers, gibbons, clouded leopards, hornbills, and thousands of species of plant and insect found nowhere else on Earth. The country understands, at least officially, that what it has is irreplaceable. For all its temples and rice paddies, its fishing villages and mountain monasteries, Thailand is a remarkably well-connected and modern society, a fact that surprises visitors who arrive expecting the country to exist only in the register of the ancient. Bangkok alone contains one of the most extensive urban rail networks in Southeast Asia. The BTS SkyTrain glides above the traffic on 70 kilometers of elevated track across 3 lines, its carriages air-conditioned and punctual, crossing a city that was, barely a generation ago, navigable only by canal and road. Underground, the MRT blue and purple lines extend the network further, threading beneath the streets through more than 50 stations. In 2023 and 2024, 2 new monorail lines, the yellow and the pink, came fully online, opening corridors of the city that had never before been served by rail. The airport rail link connects Suvarnabhumi International Airport to the city center in under half an hour. Beyond Bangkok, a highway network links the major cities, and a long-distance rail system connects the capital to Chiang Mai in the north and to the cities of the northeast and south. A high-speed rail project connecting Thailand to the Laos-China Railway, an 873-kilometer line through the country's center, is under active construction. The country assembles automobiles for global brands, manufactures electronics and hard disk drives at industrial scale, and runs one of the most sophisticated food processing export industries on the planet. This is the essential paradox of modern Thailand, a society that maintains, with equal conviction and without visible strain, the oldest rhythms of its religious and agricultural life alongside the infrastructure of a 21st century economy. The monk walks to the market at dawn. The express train runs on time. Both are Thailand, and neither cancels the other out. For the young people of Thailand, growing up here offers a life of remarkable richness and a particular familiar tension. The tension between a place that holds them deeply and a world that calls to them loudly. Education is a high priority. Compulsory schooling covers 9 years, and the public system, free to all Thai children, funnels the most ambitious students toward the country's elite universities. Chulalongkorn, founded in 1917 and named for the king who first modernized the nation, Thammasat and Mahidol, institutions of genuine academic weight, clustered in Bangkok, drawing young people in from every province. At every level of schooling, students wear uniforms, a practice that extends even into university, and the school day is structured around a culture of respect for teachers and elders that Buddhist values have reinforced for generations. But the universities are also a threshold. Once a young Thai graduates, the question that waits on the other side is not always easy. Bangkok is vast, expensive, and absorbing, a city of 10 million that pulls the young and ambitious from the rice fields of Isan and the fishing villages of the south, promising opportunity and delivering, for many, a life of long hours, rising costs, and wages that do not yet match the aspirations of a generation educated beyond the economy's capacity to fully employ them. This tension has produced a genuine and painful conversation. In recent years, surveys have found that roughly 60% of Thais under 30 consider opportunities abroad. A social media movement, its name translating simply as "Let's Move Abroad," gathered more than 1 million members within days of its founding. It is not merely an expression of economic frustration. It is the question every generation asks in every country that has raised its children well and then asked them to stay. What is worth staying for? The challenge for Thailand is not only to create diverse and rewarding opportunities for its young people, but to make the answer to that question feel, once again, like an obvious one. The rhythm of day and night in Thailand is a study in beautiful and total transformation. Day and night here are not simply different hours of the same place. They are different countries occupying the same geography. The daytime belongs to work, to motion, to the heat. In the cities, the traffic is relentless from first light, the SkyTrain filling, the markets assembling, the construction sites waking, and the sun makes itself known as a physical weight on the shoulders, driving life toward shade and water. In the countryside, the morning is for the fields, for the animals, for the diesel smoke of the small tractors moving between the paddies. It is productive, purposeful, and largely silent in the way that sustained physical labor always is. The day asks something of people, and they give it. But when the sun begins to decline, something releases. The heat softens by degrees. The light turns amber and then copper, and in that change of light, the whole country shifts register. In the cities, the night markets come alive, hundreds of stalls laid out under strings of bare bulbs, with the air full of charcoal smoke and the sizzle of woks and the calls of vendors, with families spreading out across plastic chairs at communal tables and children weaving between the adults' legs. This is not an industry, it is an institution. At Pak Kh Long Talat, Bangkok's flower market on the banks of the Khao Phraya, the jasmine and marigold and lotus arrive by the truckload before midnight, the perfume of it spreading across an entire quarter of the city. The night is full. In the villages, the evening turns inward more quietly. Families gather at the table. The temples glow with candlelight for evening prayers. The sound of chanting drifts across the still air, mixing with the first calls of the geckos. And then, gradually, completely, the night settles over everything, warm and full and entire. This is a time for rest. Not the thin rest of exhaustion, but the earned rest of a day lived outward, now returning to its source. Life in this ancient and radiant kingdom is not without its significant challenges. They are the challenges of a country that has succeeded at many things and is now reckoning with the particular difficulties that success brings. The most urgent is demographic. In 2024, Thailand recorded more deaths than births for the first time in its modern history, a crossing of a threshold that demographers had long predicted and that the country now faces with clear eyes and considerable anxiety. The fertility rate has fallen to 1 child per woman, lower than Japan's, lower than almost any comparable economy on Earth. A fifth of the population is now over 65. The country is aging faster than it is growing rich, and the arithmetic of that gap, fewer young workers, rising elderly care costs, a welfare system designed for a different demographic reality, is one of the defining pressures of Thai life in this generation. There is, too, the persistent pressure of inequality between Bangkok and the provinces, between the prosperous central plains and the vast, underserved plateau of the northeast, between the graduates of Chulalongkorn and the farmers of Isan who send their children to the city and wait to see whether they return. Household debt remains among the highest in Southeast Asia as a share of GDP. The coral reefs of the south, drawn down by bleaching and over-tourism, are a visible measure of how the natural abundance that has sustained this country for centuries is not, in the end, inexhaustible. These are the questions that Thailand grapples with not quietly, but urgently and collectively, in the way that only a people long practiced in Nam Jai know how. Thailand exists in a delicate and beautiful balance, between mountain and sea, between the ancient chant of the monks and the lit towers of the modern city, between the stillness of a spirit house draped in jasmine and the roar of a night market at full life. It is a living testament to the idea that in a world that is always accelerating, always asking more, always moving toward the next thing, there is still a profound and irreplaceable human need for a place that asks only that you be present, fully, gratefully, and with an open heart.